Dear video diary, it is January the 29th, 2008 at 8:34 p.m. I have a steak warming, it's cooking, but it's whatchamacallit, I just finished it. I'm waiting for the rice to get done, so I'm free right now. Wow, my roommate is a slob. He just like leaves everything, after he eats, he just leaves things out. And it's kind of pissing me off now, like to a real horrible extent. It's just annoying. I've had a rough, week so far. I mean, like, whenever I say a rough week, I mean, like, a pretty rough week. I'm watching a video of a replay of this one video I watched before. Or, I mean, my gameplay of on Eye of Judgment. Anyways, I've had a horrible week. I feel like crap. I really do. Today was horrible. Okay, and I usually say I'm having an excellent week. I feel exuberant. I feel great. I'm awesome. But I can't fake this. I've been having a horrible week, and today was just like pitfall bad. I was just like thinking about my past and stuff because I've been feeling quite lonely over these last couple of days, whatever, and I went to the a Bible study yesterday, and I felt really blessed to be there. It was, I saw two people who God worked in their lives to have two relationships, and I'm a marrying man. I prefer having a nice, deep relationship with another person than having a promiscuous relationship with many women. And it's like that kind of got to me. I'm at I go through ups and downs, and this is a down of my loneliness, whatever. And this guy was in Bible study, and the person was telling me about his kid, and I love kids. I wouldn't mind having one, not right now, but in due time, of course. And he was telling a story about how his kid said to him, "You're the greatest dad in the world." And I was right then and there. In this morning, I was at work, and I just needed some time alone, so I skated off a bit, found this birthing, and sat down. I was just like thinking. I like to think every now and then, just your own personal space. Everybody's not there. Nobody can touch you. Nobody can hear you. Nobody can see you because you're away from everybody. Hopefully nobody will interrupt you. And then I just get into my own world, and I just think. And I was thinking to myself, like, I could never say that. I could never say that about my dad. I could never say that he was the greatest dad in the world, because the truth of the matter is, he wasn't. He was a horrible dad in my eyes, as far as my growing up process. He later on went to the church as well, and I'm glad now that he is what he is now. But back in the day, he was a drunk, and I was just like thinking to myself, like, could never ever say that my dad was a great dad. And I don't like crying because it makes me feel weak, and I'm not a weak person. But on the other hand, I like crying because I don't show it much. I try not to show my emotions as much as possible, so the minute I do cry, it's a huge experience for me. And I was just thinking back, and I just like started crying, and I couldn't stop for about a good 15 minutes. And what had happened was, I was just thinking, like, the worst days of my life, two of the worst days of my life, I have 3 worst days of my life, I've counted them, and two of those were because of my dad. One, I let him down on one moment in my life. The other one, he was just yelling at me, and he just wasn't seeing eye to eye with me, and he was yelling at me for no reason. And from that day on, it was such a dramatic, emotional experience that from that day on, I promised myself I would never hug my dad again. And I was, what, 15 years old? 16 years old? And from then on, I never hugged my dad again. Until quite recently, whenever I only visit them like once or twice, once every 1 or 2 years. And then it's like even then I have a hard time hugging him because of what he put me through. And that time whenever he was still drinking, I was in the bathroom, and I was afraid my brother was gonna like hit me because we were just like messing around, but you know I didn't want to get hit by my brother. So I locked myself in the bathroom, and I wasn't being serious or anything. I was gonna come out eventually, but my parents came back home from the grocery, and then I was in there, and I was like saying, I'm not gonna come out, no way. And then my dad, he was right outside the door, and he says, I'm going to count to 3. If you don't come out in 3, whenever I hit 3, I'm going to break this door down or something. I can't remember. This was back in 5th grade, so I was like 10 years old. And he was like, 1, and then I started crying because I was afraid of my dad, of course. And he said 2, and then I ran out of the room, ran out of the bathroom, and I ran, and I ducked underneath a table. I was underneath this table, cringing with like fear and cheering up, and he has like one leg, and so he was having on crutches. He lost his leg back in the day, and so he has crutches, and he's poking me with his crutch. And that was not love. So that wasn't one of the worst days of my life, but that's one of the things that will always stick in the back of my head about how I do not want to be that way. I could never say to my dad that he's the greatest dad in the world because of certain instances, because of his drinking. I've quit drinking. I'd never wanted to be like him. That's why I have quit drinking today. I was coming to the point where I was kind of becoming like him. I was becoming an angry drunk, and I didn't want to be like that. But I was just thinking back, you know. And so it's like it's hard, you know. I have all this pain and anguish against my mom as well. I was raised up in a kind environment where my parents were overprotective of me. It was like if I even went there today, if I were going to go out the house, me the age I am, they would ask me where I'm going. It would be like them holding my hand up until I'm 18 years old, crossing the street, and I couldn't even look at nudity within them without feeling awkward, and they wouldn't even let me up until, what, 16, 18 years old, and still then they were like, no, about it. And so this is the stuff that's like, you keep a person's mind innocent for so long, and then whenever he goes into the real world, he breaks down because it's not normal. And so that was, and then yeah, that's whenever, yeah, I got rejected by the world because I wasn't normal. And so now, and also now women and everything, today is just, I was looking back, and it was just horrible. My day was horrible. So, I felt better after I cried, but still I felt like it wasn't the manly thing to do, and that's really not of me. Not of me at all. I am not what I was before. I try to keep to myself as much as possible now. It's just, I've had a bad life. I hope nobody ever has to deal with the stuff I've done. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Heck no. Not if it deals with your emotions and your mental and psychological stability. No. It's worse than physical pain. But I'm at the 10-minute mark, so I'm out.